Ooh, who's that baritone?
Oh, yeah, I'm pulling the bass today.
Bass, that's what I mean.
You got some cookies, Rachel.
Yeah, this is my X-Files cookie.
Dagu.
I made it for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
You made like a Valentine's Day episode 4 mashup. Little like
what?
Valentine's Day X-Files baby happen with the cookies.
Oh, because this episode is shippery?
Well, it's like a little shippery moments. I think we'll get to that, but I'm just saying it's like it's a very good timing.
Yes, it is very good timing.
Why make cookies twice in a week when you can just do it once?
Right, exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Are they good?
Mashup. They are. They're delicious.
They're delicious.
Yes, please feel free.
You're hungry, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm very hungry.
I thought you were about to do that thing with the steeple and the children get married in the pans.
What?
Remember that?
Oh no! I know about this.
Remember that.
It's kind of dirty, actually.
You know it?
I know that. Well, isn't it like the thing you like do the thing and the?
Is it dirty?
And the friends and you look in anyway.
Yeah, but it makes like
every young kid like under the age of like 11 knows exactly what I'm talking about right now.
Or everyone our age that did it when they were kids, apparently, except for you.
Except me, yeah. My private
pure
Jewish school
mind.
never taught me that.
I don't remember being dirty. I thought it was a church. So
this episode was kind of dirty.
What? Oh, like in gross dirty?
It was kind of gross dirty.
Yeah, well, it was Garbage Man. Yeah.
Trash Man, as they called him.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4. Well, we're back talking about episode 4. I can't believe we are almost done.
No,
This is
stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not ready.
Yeah, I told Rachel 3 episodes in, I still felt like, halfway to go, you know? But knowing there's 2 left seems really kind of severe and sad.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's going to go real fast. I keep wishing they're going to surprise us and say the finale is like extra long or 2 hours. They're not, though,
It should be, especially when I read the plot of it. It sounds more like a movie plot. It's like people all over the world are getting like a weird sickness, apparently.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you know, it's like on everything.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just like the one sentence summary.
I thought it was about. Well, let's not talk about that, huh? Because that's another episode. Okay,
we'll get there when.
Right,
well, you know, there will
minutes.
always be years of reruns to watch on Netflix and Hulu whenever you're feeling.
Yeah, we've done that for the
sad.
past 14 years.
Our lifetime. I would like to point out, though, that they are specifically calling it the season finale. I don't think they actually know anything yet, but I think to me that speaks of their hope to bring it back. And I really don't know with the ratings so far why they wouldn't, as long as they can get the actors to do it. Yeah.
And I think we were talking about everybody being on board. I think I think this is a good time to be an X-Files fan and be hopeful. You know,
and to be an actress who is hopeful to be on the next season.
Oh, look,
Fingers
now she's
crossed.
plugging. Look, it's usually me.
Well, you know, because everyone watching thinks it's just you. I think I'm just like a trash man or something.
Elice is actually the trash man. She's already made her X-Files debut. Sorry, not her turn anymore.
maggot in your ear? Is that what that is?
Where's your Band-Aid?
So I am curious, this episode, Home Again, what exactly kind of episode was this? Because it was kind of Monster of the Week. It was kind of like a memory lane kind of thing. What was it?
I know. You know what? It was, I don't know if this will make sense to you because you probably haven't seen this episode, but it was a Beyond the Sea type episode.
Okay.
Which is where Scully's father died in season 1. And it was very similar, although I would say that episode aired more on the side of the storyline with the monster than the personal side, but they kind of intermixed more. But this one, it was similar, but also I thought this one was very like Scully storyline heavy to me.
It was.
Finally.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you say that.
You think it was Mulder's story?
Well, I mean, and I think we can get to it in a bit, but like the way they split the storylines, they were, for the first at least third of the episode, they were on their own paths.
Oh, I know. I made a comment about that. And then as soon as I made that comment, they were back together. I was like, they're always separate. I'm sick of this. And then like the very next scene, they were together. And I was like, okay.
And they spent the rest of the episode together.
Yeah, they did. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm okay now.
Did that have anything to do with maybe their availability? Like, were either of them working on other
one
projects?
One of my friends said that too, but no, not at all.
I think they were in Vancouver together for 6-8 weeks.
The only thing I can think is that I think maybe they're building to more Mulder and Scully. You know, like
together.
The first episode was like there was conflict between them. So even when they were together, they weren't, you know, so together. And the first and the last episode are so much, I believe, about their independent paths. So there, you know, there's a little separation in there. And then the second episode, they were together a fair amount, but they were still like getting back into the groove of investigating, and they still went on their separate paths. Scully doing the sciencey stuff, Mulder doing the investigating, all that. And then the third episode was like a Mulder-centric episode.
Right.
So, Scully just wasn't in it very much.
And maybe that's a reoccurring theme across the entire season with like the my struggle on either side. As you were talking about the episode names.
Yeah.
The first one was supposed to be Mulder's struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to see Scully's struggle
That's what,
at the end.
Chris Carter said that the last episode is more about Scully's struggle, which is interesting because I feel like the second episode and this episode have been all about Scully's struggle with, her William and her mom and everything. I feel like we've seen a lot of Scully's struggle, and I don't know if I can take more of her crying, although that is at the top of my list right here. Jillian for Emmy!
Yeah, that was really great material.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not just great material, obviously very well executed.
Yes.
Very heart-wrenching.
Very good acting, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I highly think that Jillian should get nominated for an Emmy.
She's a good crier.
Oh, God, yeah. She's a great
very
crier.
pretty when she cries.
Mm-hmm. She is.
Is that what makes a good crier?
Yeah.
Your attractiveness?
I'll give her
it's
that.
It's true. Some people are ugly criers, and she's like a very delicate crier. Like, it's
Mulder
beautiful.
does a good cry. His is an ugly cry.
It depends.
Oh,
When
does
Mulder's
it?
just doing like the leaking tear, like in
Well, yeah, that's
Gethsemane,
subtle.
he was beautiful there. But when he's crying on Scully's bed in
like the
Redux
hand
2,
bite?
2 episodes later, the
It's like
hand
he's
bite, yeah.
gnawing on her.
Typical Rachel over here, like pulling out the episodes out of thin air. They did a lot of that tonight in this episode.
And
a lot of
in
callbacks.
my head I was going one breath existence.
Yeah.
Like I was, the episodes were all coming up in my head.
The montage, the flashback montage.
And just that one lone callback to One Breath when Scully first sees her mom in the coma. That took me aback like immediately because we never see that. We never see flashbacks like that in the original series.
Have they used the flashback yet in the series that they used in the promos of Mulder in the warehouse with the light?
No, they haven't.
That was just in the promos.
Yeah, and in the promos, like a lot of people thought that was new footage because it was like one of the few old footage things that they used. But
And it was from behind,
it is old
so
footage.
you can't tell
Yeah,
if he's old or young. But
no, they haven't used that yet.
Done that.
But what exactly, just to help define it for everybody, what exactly would you call a callback and what would you call a flashback? Because it seems like we might even be blurring the lines a little bit
No,
here.
I can do this. Okay. So a flashback is when you're seeing something from an episode, like the direct clip from the episode. That's a flashback. But a callback to me is like, okay, I have a callback here. They did a callback, what I would call, to Home, the episode Home, which is funny because this one's called Home Again, where they were playing this really upbeat, fun song while someone's being brutally murdered. They did the exact same thing in an episode called Home, and I think that they did that very intentionally in this episode as a callback to that episode.
I see.
And I would call that a throwback.
Yes, we learned
Yes,
that.
I
would never
What would
even
you
do
agree?
that.
Would you agree, Elice?
I mean, just on semantics, like I've always
Yeah.
thought the word was throwback, but whatever you want to call it, it's when you reference, or go back to something from the past and, revisit it.
Yeah, but not like show it directly. Like, just like revisit it and like
Call that a callback.
Yeah.
I did like what we're calling flashbacks
Yes.
here.
Yes.
With the old footage. I mean, it at times, like I found myself being like, whoa, David Duchovny was so young.
That's what I could tell my dad when, like, in the middle of the episode, my dad was like, oh, and like I knew that's exactly what he
why?
was thinking. Yeah, because it was such an old flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was from season 2. So it was 1994. So
Jeez.
yeah.
I think
a long
that's
time
just
ago.
so cool that this show has spanned over all of these decades. It's in its third decade of being on air, right? 90s
Yeah.
and 2010s, 3
Right,
decades
yeah.
of being on television,
Yeah,
and to
it's
be
crazy.
able to show the same character as just a young, young
Yeah.
gun, and now he's, what did he say? I'm middle-aged. No, Scully, I am.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of struck me in this moment that
Yeah.
even to be able to show that speaks so much about
Yeah.
the show's longevity.
I mean, it's really like, it's kind of like the ideal situation for a lot of actors to get on a TV show and just, that's your day job. That's the
Yeah.
job you go to every day.
Although for a while it wasn't their ideal scenario. They felt trapped in that show, I know, for a while. But then once they got away from it, then they realized what an amazing thing that
It's
they
like
had.
most things
Sure.
in
Yeah.
life, when
Yeah.
you're working so hard and you're
Yeah.
bogged down and you feel like you just want to break, you don't necessarily appreciate what you have. And
Right.
then when you look back, you say, that was
was
awesome.
great, yeah.
Like sometimes I look back on some parts of school like that.
Right.
Like I remember near the end of college, I was like, oh, so many
Can't wait to
tests,
be
I'm so ready to be
done.
done. And
Yeah.
then, a few months later, even I was like,
You're so
that
nostalgic.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
missed that,
Yeah.
So
Oh
I think
no,
that's
it's
just
true.
a human condition.
It's totally fair for them to have felt that way. But I think now, with time and distance, they can realize how great that was and how lucky they are to have it back.
Yeah, and to realize, I think when you're doing something like that, you maybe don't know that that's what's going to define you, and you want to go on and break the mold and do other great
Right.
things, and then maybe as you go on in life, you're just like, thank God I had something this huge.
Yeah.
To even if I'm typecast, which I don't think, I mean, they've both gone on to do many other things, you
Right.
know, but even if that's what you're always known for, aren't you
Yeah.
just blessed that like you got to have something culturally defining that people will always know you for? And
Culturally defining, I like that.
yeah, I mean, it is.
It
It
is.
sets
I
the
just like that,
standard
yeah.
for so many things.
Well, aren't
so.
we lucky as fans to have them back? That's what I have to say.
I'm curious to ask you this actually, as like a newer fan. I felt like some of the flashbacks were intriguing. I felt like they would be intriguing for new fans, as like, you know, oh, what was this from? Like, what was happening here? I kind of want to go back and watch these episodes.
No, I mean, I was lost. I was lost of where it came from.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the general time frame because you saw Scully all up in an emergency room bed, like in her coma, and then she references it. So I know where it is in the timeline,
Right.
But I don't know the specific episode. But it does make me want to go, I want to watch that episode again.
Right. I want to go find that storyline.
I want to go find it.
It crossed my mind seeing those scenes that for people that are just now tuning in, brand new to the series, haven't watched Netflix, but they're just, you know, doing X-Files revival. I wondered if it made them feel alienated, or if it made, like, did it make, because you didn't watch the whole entire show, right?
Yeah, I haven't. All right, I'm coming
sorry. I
clean,
don't mean to
but
incriminate you or anything.
but like I have not seen every single episode.
Right.
Yeah.
So
multiple
maybe,
times,
That's
like
fair.
you girls have.
Yeah, that's
will
okay.
eventually, yeah.
I guess we need to have somebody here who's brand new, because I just want to know when newbies are watching, are they thinking like, oh, cool, like I'm getting a bit of the backstory, or are they like, what the heck is that? Why was she in a coma? Like, she had a baby? You know, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know. We don't associate with those people.
I think it is a good point though, because like I feel like it was a conscious decision, like kind of like hashing this out. I feel like it was a conscious decision to put some of that in there to help kind of place that story for those that might not know it. So I think that was very smart decision making. You know, there was also a lot of decisions made in cinematography in this episode. We saw a very different kind of episode from the production standpoint, where we were praising them in the first and second episode of doing kind of what we know. Here they took a step away.
That's true.
What did you think about it?
It was different. I know one of the things that stood out for us was and it was early on in the episode when she was running down the stairs after she got that phone call, and that weird camera shot that's like super close up and a little bit below her. Yeah, what's it
so
called?
this is where I get to be knowledgeable. It's called a snorri cam.
A snorri cam.
Snorri cam is what it is. It's literally a rig that attaches to the actor. Depending on the shot, it'll attach in various different ways. But it became popular with the whole like horror film.
Yeah.
Right.
What was that?
That's what it reminded me of.
Not the Cabin in the Woods. There was
Like Saw.
No, it was one that was like anyway. Everybody's in the comments is like, this is what it is right now. I totally can't place it. But it's called a snorri cam is what it is. That weird kind of like locked off on the body shot.
Yeah. I didn't like it, to be honest. I thought it felt out of place. I don't know. It didn't feel like the right emotion. Like it felt like it belonged in a horror movie.
Or
but
like
it
she was
wasn't a
drugged
horror
or
scene.
about to pass out or something.
Yeah.
It didn't lead
was
itself
odd.
to emotion.
But, you know,
Just
they're
being
trying
sad.
things.
It was not supposed to feel comfortable. It wasn't supposed to feel like, oh, Scully feels happy and warm right now. It
But
was
it
supposed
felt
to
more
convey.
like Scully's running from a murderer, not like Scully's, you know, having an emotional moment.
I would have liked her just slowly, maybe walking down the steps, maybe just stopping, maybe holding on or something, like she needed, you know, some balance. I don't know. That just felt disjointed.
I liked it.
Oh,
I really liked the use of it because it helped me understand her state of mind. She was like, she was out of kind of body experience. You know, she was kind of, you know, off kilter a little bit during that. And I think that helped convey to me that feeling, that emotion, because I was put off as the viewer. And I think that was the decision that was made behind there. And then they used it again
Did they?
for the monster.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Notice
Yeah, they
that.
did it with the monster.
The monster had the story cam on him?
He had the snorri cam on him.
Snorri, sorry.
Yeah,
Not story cam.
I'm like 98% sure now. Like this
Possible.
is where I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Oh,
But
yeah, it's possible.
he was like, I think he was walking down the stairs again.
I don't remember. That sounds like
I
a
know.
funny scene, like the Band-Aid face,
Right.
you know, wobbling all over. I think it's because we're not used to seeing Scully have anything quite that. Like, she handles her stuff really well.
Yeah,
And it
like
conveyed that
she'll
was
cry,
handling
but
it
she doesn't
differently.
get like so off kilter. Like even when she had that moment where she's like, "I need to go back to work right now," that seemed so unscully to
Yeah.
me.
It
It didn't
did,
bother
yeah.
me like it was
No.
out of character. It just was like it jarred me a little because it was very unscully. Because like even when
yeah.
her dad died, you know, she cried for a second when she came back to work, but she was like, "I really need to get back to work. Like this is important to me. Like just trust me,
Yeah.
Mulder." Like she was very
She
steady.
stays even kiltered.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
much
But this
so.
episode she didn't. And then half a second later, she was joking about running down the stairs in heels. She's all over the place in this
That's
episode.
true.
But
Well,
you know, hey,
this scene,
I like
I
it.
mean, I didn't know what to think of that just because it for me, it just opened up so many doors.
The flashlights crossing scene.
Just the scene with like the kind of ongoing storyline of her mother
mom.
in a coma.
Very different.
The quarter,
I
the
know.
the
What is
brother
the
that I hadn't heard
quarter?
of before.
Well, the brother, you might not know this, the brother that they were trying to get a
Charlie.
hold of, Charlie, he never was cast in the show. He was a little boy in a flashback in One Breath, but other than that, he's never been cast in the show. So we never saw him. We never heard his voice. So to me, I was like, are we finally
You're
getting to meet
excited.
Charlie?
Oh.
And like all we heard was a voice on the phone, but it was something. Like we didn't even get to hear Bill's voice on the phone.
Right.
I guess they couldn't get
Oh,
Pat
yeah.
Skipper back. And they got Sheila Larkin back for that one sad little
I know. I
line.
always said she's almost just like an extra.
Yeah.
At least she had one line.
Yeah.
We love her.
Oh, we do. We love Scully's mom so much. It's so sad that she died.
Maybe that's something to do with the different reaction too for Scully. I mean, losing one parent, obviously, I can't really imagine or fathom,
Yeah.
but I'm sure is traumatic and horrible, and you know. But maybe when you lose that second parent and feel like an orphan,
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it affecting her differently
Yeah.
in the sense that now she just feels very alone.
Yeah. Well, and I think that her mother's loss was more profound because her and her mother had more of a relationship. Whereas when
Yeah,
she lost her
that's
father, it was
true.
more like there was so much left unsaid.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently there was stuff left unsaid here because I want to know what that quarter is.
Yeah, and I want to know, are we
No.
going to explore that, or was that just a plot
Yeah.
device to show Scully wondering and questioning, there are things I didn't know
Right.
about my mother, or is it going to set something up so there's this reveal of some
Right.
secret life we don't know about?
And like I want to ask people watching this too, because to me that Scully's mom's final words when she was like, "William is or my son is named William too," and Scully,
Mulder.
to
Yeah.
Mulder, and then Scully took that as like, "Oh, she was trying to tell us that we need to like find a way to make sure William's okay." I didn't take it that way. I feel like I'm probably totally wrong about this, but like for half of the episode, I was like, I feel like Scully's mom is like the key to finding William again. Like there's something like with the quarter and her saying that, like maybe she's the key. I don't know.
yeah,
It doesn't really make sense,
see.
but-
no, I mean, it's kind of ambiguous. The quarter could mean something. Her line
Just felt
could
like
mean
it had
something.
to mean more than that. I don't know. I want you guys to tell me if you felt that way too, because I'm really curious.
Well, what else
actually.
would she have meant by saying William was my son too?
That Scully thinks it's just that they need to go.
Why
make
did
sure
she
he's
say
okay.
find
Yeah.
your son?
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I
you could just be a little more direct. if you
Yeah.
Because
wanted
this is a
to.
TV show and it makes people like us want
Right,
more.
Exactly.
That's
It makes
true.
our minds spin.
That's true.
Yeah.
I thought he was calling her so many times. You'd think
Oh,
I would get used to
no.
the
My
fact that they
God,
were just
yeah.
joking, with the phone. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this time he's really calling.
Yeah.
He
But like,
never
how would
called.
he have her number?
Like
Google or
son,
something?
son William.
Yeah, but it was
Track
like an
down
anonymous
Scully.
adoption.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, like I think like the records are sealed. Like I don't think they can find each other at
maybe
all.
he's in. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's
Well,
going on.
I think it's very obvious what you guys pulled from the episode. You guys were really paying attention to that relationship that
Yeah.
Mulder and Scully had.
Yes.
There was this
Yeah.
monster.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That
There was a
happened.
Okay, but
scary
we're going back to the
part.
Mulder Scully relationship after the monster. But
Okay, that's fair.
yes, there was the monster was really interesting. It reminded me a little bit of the monster from Arcadia, but not in a comedic
Oh.
way, because that monster was made of garbage too.
He was made of poop, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, kind of like garbage and poop.
He was.
Well, no,
He was in the
made,
sewer.
He was made of garbage too, because the stuff
he?
Scully took to the lab was like stuff from garbage.
Oh,
But
okay.
he was like a manifestation of everybody's like
Not fears.
not fears, but like their sins, basically.
Yes.
And this monster had a
Similar?
little bit of a similar feel to me.
I felt like I related that monster to the Grim Reaper. Like I
Oh.
felt like it was the wrongs of those characters had led them to being their soul being called.
Yeah.
And he was there to claim their souls.
because they were all bad guys.
They
I
were all
guess,
bad
doing
people.
Right, they were
Right.
selfish people. Yeah,
I guess that's
that's
true.
interesting. I didn't think about it like that.
That's what's
but
so
yeah.
great about this. I mean, there's so many interpretations.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
it
to go-
wasn't clear cut.
Yeah. And he was like a nice creepy monster too. Like
Right.
it wasn't cheesy. Like they did a really good job with
maggots with the
I was just gonna say
floor
with the
and-
maggots. And like the only thing was that every time somebody smelled him and gagged, they had like the most like dainty little gags. Like that's not, if you smell something like that,
Your dad was like, is he sneezing?
yeah, like
He
my
had
dad
something
didn't
in his
even know
throat.
one of the guys was gagging because they were just like, like if you're gagging, like it doesn't sound like that. Like when you're smelling a trash monster of death, like you're gonna like have like a
Trash
real,
monster of death.
coughing gag. I won't imitate it for all of your sakes. But
Just leave a milk in your trash can for.
Oh.
There's your trash monster.
I did that once. Not even for more than like maybe going to work and coming back, and I walked in a house and I thought there was something dead in there.
Oh, God.
That's the trash monster.
And now
for
you're
sure.
always
Yeah.
going to think about the trash man.
So
Yes.
that's what you need to do if you need to act
If
like
you
there's
need
a trash
to
monster.
ever
Yeah.
conjure the fear of a trash man.
Method
Yes.
acting with Rachel and Elise. leave milk spoiled in the trash can. Well, we've got about a minute to cover
All right, shipper moments.
shipper stuff
Yeah,
that
that's-
happened.
that's what we gotta cover.
There was just so many. I mean, finally, we had some really good.
Because like there
juicy
have been
moments.
like scenes of tension between the two, but this was the first time that we saw them like touch each other and care for each other, and like in more than just dialogue, like in a physical way too.
And beyond like flirtation, which I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like they've had some flirty moments,
Right.
and some looks that have
But
been satisfying.
this
That
was
need for cute
deeper.
moments. This was deep.
Yeah,
So-
this was like I care about you with everything in
So,
me.
Elise, what did you do when you saw them touch for the first time in this episode?
What did I
She
do?
didn't
What did
go
you
like
do?
that. She went like this the rest of the episode.
That
but
was
not-
because of Trash
Yeah.
Man. I don't know if I did anything, but if anything, I do like an arm thing where you like suck in your arms, like
You sucked in your arms?
because you get like a tingle, kind of like I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
feels.
I know what
There's
you
your
mean.
feels.
Yeah.
And Rachel,
Yeah.
what
I
did you do? Did you squeak?
I get like a flutter in my stomach, and I just like I like go like this because it's like I mean I guess I kind of do that too. But no, I get like a thing in my stomach, which is like funny because I used to get that in the old show all the time. And like one of the things I thought is I was like, well, now that it's been so long, and like I know that Mulder and Scully like don't have the same tension they used to. Like they've been together for a long time and broken up. Like, am I still gonna feel like that? And I do. That made me happy.
Your pubescent self would be very happy
Yeah,
that you still
she
feel that
lives
way.
within me somewhere.
This may honestly be maybe not the only show, but definitely the best execution of a will they won't they couple who actually did the will they and got together and yet still didn't kill it. They didn't kill because they didn't just shack up and like have this domestic boring
Right.
life where they're kissing
it
each other
built
every
for
morning.
so long.
It built for so long,
Yeah.
and then they still keep that tension and. It's
Yeah,
just
where like
cool
every
that they can
touch
pull
means
that off.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, because so many shows just die.
Well, you
after
haven't stuck
that.
around to watch Lucifer on
Oh,
Fox
wait,
at 9
is that,
o'clock.
Have you been watching it? It's only one for like 3
Tragically, I got
episodes. How can
sucked
they
in.
have longevity of like characters?
I'm kind of joking. It's
Oh.
kind of terrible.
It's the opposite.
Oh, okay. The line though, where when Scully was talking about her mom coming back, and Mulder said,
Or she's like, did we ever encounter something where you could will people back to
people
life?
back,
And
yeah.
Mulder's like, I invented it when you were in your coma. Yeah, that's how we react. We do
These
the
guys.
sighs.
We could keep this conversation going forever,
we
but we
could.
can't.
We
But
shouldn't.
you can in the comments below or on our Trust No One But Us Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. It's all Trust No One But Us. It's really easy to find. Keep that conversation going. If you've watched it 2, 3, 4 times, tell us what you've picked up. We've only watched it once
yeah.
an hour ago.
Yeah.
We just finished.
Yeah.
So there is so much more to this episode. There's more of the last episode. There's more to this whole entire season. And I hope there's more after this.
more,
Cross
more.
our
Yeah,
fingers.
forever.
Well, from everybody here at Trust No One But Us, we'll see you next week with the 5th episode.
Called Babylon this time.
This one's
We'll
Babylon.
see,
Babylon.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Is it
no,
really?
it really is. I said I wasn't sure last week. Okay.
I know. I wasn't
Hopefully
here
it
to
is.
rein you
Yeah.
in and you're fact
I
checking.
know.
Elise is back. All right. Well, Elise, we'll see you back on
All right.
another episode of Trust No One
Can't
But Us.
wait.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, and then was Mulder looking through a fox mask?
Oh.
I feel like
Everybody pause this right now and go rewind the episode and watch because I think
didn't notice
we're
that.
probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I want to know, like right now, look in the comments below to see if we found out if it